Good morning. My name is Christy Clemens Hoffman. I am an angel intuitive and spiritual guide and metaphysical practitioner based in Kansas City, Missouri. And like many of the people in the world, I'm needing a haircut very badly. I come to you from my office in the Waldo neighborhood of Kansas City, Missouri. And I also do Reiki and quantum healing hypnosis technique and many other spiritual practices. Well, I set out in 2020 to bring messages from Archangels and Ascended Masters, different spiritual beings, each week. I wanted to focus on a different being each week of the year. And this week, we're focusing on Thoth, which is the ibis-headed god you may have seen before. This is a depiction of him. Thoth. So it has the body of a man and the head of an ibis. I really don't know anything about his origin story, about how he got the head of an ibis, but he was a revered figure in ancient Egypt. I've been having a new interest in Egyptology as of late, through the story of Seti, which you may know as a very well-known story of reincarnation. Seti was Dorothy Eddy, who died in, I think it was 1969. It could have been 1971, but she died during my lifetime at least, and she was reincarnated from an Egyptian priestess. And it's a fascinating story. So I've been having a renewed interest in Egyptology. Anyway, today we're here to talk about Thoth, who had me go through some things before I started this live video. Thoth had me consecrate the room, had me raise the vibration in the room, had me clear out some stuff, had me light a candle, had me use sound to clear the room, had me really approach this today from a place of reverence. I have a credenza in the office, and I opened it to get the lighter for the candle. And I was going to just leave it open because you can't see that right now, and it doesn't matter to me if the drawer is open. But no, Thoth wanted me to close the drawer because it was creating a displeasing energy or something to him. So he is very particular. And, I pulled out Doreen Virtue's book, Archangels and Ascended Masters. And she is the foremost authority on these beings. Of course, she's gone through a renaissance in her beliefs and has put all of her books out of print. Her books such as this with Archangels and Ascended Masters. But you can still find these books on eBay or Amazon.com as used and through used booksellers. Anyway, I do like to teach from this book. It is a wonderful, wonderful encyclopedia in a way of these beings. So I'm reading from Doreen Virtue's book, the chapter on Thoth, also known as or Tahuti. I don't know how to pronounce this, so forgive me, please, if you speak ancient Egyptian. Djehuti, Tahuti, Thoth, or Thout, perhaps, or Zehuti. So many different names. I always refer him as Thoth, with a soft t at the end. Now, the name is spelled, I used to pronounce it Thoth because I didn't know any better. And then I found out that that is not how you pronounce this name. The Egyptian god of high magic, manifestation, symbols, geometry, writing, music, and astronomy. So he does a lot of things, and a lot of things that are magical, mystical, and manifestation. Thoth was the scribe of the gods, and he penned many books about hermetic secrets of magic and manifestation. Legends say that one of his books, The Emerald Tablets, was written when Thoth was priest king in Atlantis. Thoth and the book survived Atlantis' demise, and he founded an Egyptian colony based on Atlantean wisdom. It's said that Thoth's symbols are the basis for modern Freemasonry, and that he designed many Egyptian pyramids and temples. Interestingly enough, last week we spoke with Saint Germain, and Saint Germain was there for the founding of Freemasonry, and they often accredit that that group to Saint Germain. And so here we learn that Thoth's symbols were the basis for the Freemasons. Thoth was believed to materialize and heal with the use of chants, toning, and sound, along with sacred geometry, symbolism, and arithmetic. He taught Isis how to practice high magic, and he's credited with being the inventor of writing in ancient Egypt. And this I've heard as well, that he is claimed to be the inventor of writing and writing systems. Helps us with divine magic, life purpose, mathematics, prophecy and divination, psychic abilities, sacred geometry, teaching, and writing. He is laughing at me right now. He says, "You silly, you don't understand why I had you do all of these things. You don't understand why I had you shut the drawer, although you did." He's just chuckling. He's kind of making fun of me. And he's basically saying that we need to observe order, that drawers are not meant to leave unopened. Drawers are meant to be closed. Things are not meant to be left around the house. Of course, my house has a lot of clutter, as many houses do. He says, you don't understand the importance of order. You don't understand the importance of ritual and placing importance on things. He says, you don't understand the importance of importance, basically. So I've got this other little book, comes with the Ascended Masters, also Doreen Virtue, Oracle cards. So the Ascended Master Oracle card deck. And I will read from this as well because it contains additional information. Thoth's card, of course, is right. And I just put it away. Do we have it? Yes. This is, of course, Thoth's card. This card in the Oracle card deck tends to mean to write, that you need to journal or even write a book or an article. And it came up recently for a reading that I did for someone. And she said, "Oh, yes, I know. I need to write. I just hate writing." And Thoth had some additional messages for her to take some of the burden off of writing and take out of writing the parts that she doesn't like and leave in the parts that she does like. So that was very helpful. And here, Doreen Virtue says that sometimes his name is pronounced Tehotet, which sounds very Egyptian, doesn't it? Tehotet is the Egyptian god of writing, manifestation, astronomy, and esoteric arts. He's an aspect of Hermes, the teacher of the Hermetic principles of alchemy and divine magic, and has had many incarnations. So additional meanings for this card is keep a daily journal of your feelings and experiences. Write down your intentions, goals, and desires. Channel messages from your guides and angels. Or your life purpose involves writing, and write an article or a book. He's telling me now that there is a lot of power in writing. When we write things, we put them in another form that just is more lasting. He's telling me that the thought is ephemeral. The thought does not stay there. It's soon replaced with another thought, and then another, and another. But writing actually puts it out into manifestation energy because of the step of writing it, the act of writing it, and also it has more permanence. Although he's saying that you can also add to manifestation powers by writing something, meditating on it. He's telling me a period of 40 days, keep it with you for a period of 40 days, and then burn it. And then the smoke rises up and adds to manifestation power. But he says that all of that has power in it. The writing, taking our thoughts and making them in a form that's readable by other people. It just solidifies the thought. but then releasing it after 40 days, and there's power in that 40 days. This is why we have periods of 40 days that are important in the Bible. Let's see if there's anything else he wants to know. He wants us to know. Okay. He is claiming responsibility for being part of the group of beings that's been talking to me about the COVID crisis that we're in. So I've been hearing since the beginning of this whole chapter of our lives, early on, before we ever went into lockdowns or any of this, that humans created this condition, this virus. The virus is very real, and it does spread very readily, and it is very contagious. So please take all of the precautions. Again, we don't want to take it lightly. It is a very real virus and a very real pandemic. So doing things like staying home, social distancing, wearing a mask and protective gear when we're out and with other people is necessary, and it's going to be necessary for a while longer. But this panel of beings, this panel of guides, has been talking to me about how humanity co-created it, that our reliance on technology, and yes, I realize I'm giving this message via YouTube, but our reliance on technology, getting away from our families and our family units, even getting away from real in-person connections, helped create this. Our materialism helped create this. Our reliance on things outside of us rather than things that are inside of us has co-created this. Our dependence on cheap goods has helped co-create this. So this is a creation of humanity. And Thoth is very quick to add that we can counteract this co-creation by going inside and being more reliant upon ourselves. So being resourceful. I find resourcefulness one of the best gifts that we can ever have. Being resourceful. Learning what we can do without. We don't have to have all of the trappings that we think we have to have. You know, on a personal note, I had a car accident on March 14th. It was after a lengthy meeting about how to move the metaphysical fair, the annual spring metaphysical fair, to be an online virtual event. And my head was full of ideas, and I was very tired. It was late at night, and someone ran a red light, and my mind was preoccupied, and I ran into him, even though, it was his fault, but I did run into him. And today I will be giving back to the rental car company the car that I had borrowed, that the insurance company had paid for me to rent while my car was being repaired. And while the car is very, very nice, well, no, it's nicer than mine, more modern than mine. I at first thought, boy, this would be a good opportunity. This whole accident would be a good opportunity for me to get a new car. But with that comes a new price tag and more insurance and more expense overall. But now, from hearing from this Ascended Master, I realized that no, that is materialism, wanting a new car, having any kind of remorse over giving back this rental car and picking up my old 2007 model that does not have the camera to help you back up. It doesn't work with Bluetooth with my phone and calling and all like that. It's not got all the bells and whistles, but it's good. It's fine. It drives, and it has 100,000 more miles on it. So just realizing what we don't need and what we do need, simplifying our lives. This is what this chapter is about. And he's giving this big ibis-headed thumbs up right now, that's exactly what we need to know and what we need to do. Learn what we need to really be reliable about and rely on. And this group of Ascended Masters and Archangels, or I'm not sure who all is in this group of guides that's talking to me about this, but they're saying we also are placing importance on the wrong type of people in our culture, placing importance on bankers and hedge fund managers and stockbrokers and the NASDAQ and the Dow and all of these things, when we see that what is really essential are the people who are providing valuable services, the grocery store clerks, the people who deliver gas to the gas stations, the people who transport food, the people who produce food, and of course, all the people who work in healthcare, not the insurance executives, not the people who process insurance, but the healthcare workers, and the people who are responsible for keeping our healthcare facilities clean and sanitary, and those who supply our healthcare facilities. Those are the important people, not the politicians, not the banks. So again, I'm getting a big thumbs up here when we focus on what is essential and what we need and what we don't need. So I believe that was Thoth's message for today, is go inside. Find your inner resourcefulness. Focus on what you need and what you can do without. Focus on manifestation. And I believe that's a wonderful message. So if you've been watching, thank you so much. Please do subscribe to this channel so that you are notified every time we have a new video out. And we do a lot of content. We have a Radiate Wellness podcast. We do Planet Watch with our resident astrologer, Mary Jane Stodenman. And I do this series as well, 52 Weeks of Angel Connection, as well as other videos as we see fit. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and give a thumbs up, maybe a comment in the comment section. That would be greatly appreciated. Bye. See you next week.